Okay, hi guys. Today I'm going to be talking about an attack called Golaloon, which is basically the attack consists of some lava hounds, some golem, some some wizards and some balloons. And the spells I take are lightning, rage, and jump. So this was the first one that I did, and there are a few mistakes. For example, I should have initially dropped the jump spell on that compartment with the cannon in it. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these raids, talk about what it is that I do to try and make them work, and talk about what the individual troops are doing. So in this raid, obviously, okay, so you send in, as you'll notice the theme, you send in the initial party. I'm using 2 golems, my heroes, and now I've modified it to be 5 wizards. But this will all be base specific. Remember, I'm attacking random bases, which makes it a lot more difficult. But when you're planning your match, you might need more or less wizards. You might not need any wizards. You might need more golem, depending on your hero level. This attack is really only for people with high heroes. You need good heroes to get through. And what this initial party is actually doing is taking out, hopefully for me, 2 air defenses. It doesn't quite go that way, and the queen, and it doesn't quite go that way either. So this one, it only takes out 1 air defense, and ultimately the raid, that massively hurts the raid and costs me the 3-star, but it's still a decent one to start out on. This was the first raid that I did, and this was my initial troop composition, but actually I've changed it around a bit now to something that I prefer. So as you can see, then we proceed to drop the balloons, and the balloons I was dropping in a circular motion. So I drop a lava hound, and then I drop balloons on each individual defense. That means that the balloons don't bunch up like they're doing right now. They spread out, they hit each individual defense, which massively increases the effectiveness of the balloons, because it actually only takes essentially 2 balloons per defense to take it out in one shot. And if you've got 17 balloons over that defense, it gets taken out no quicker, and there are less defenses being killed per second, essentially. So that's why and the second reason for putting the loons and lava hounds down in a circle is to make sure that the loons don't fly back on themselves. They don't go back to where they came from before, which stops them from bunching as well. So deploying around the base in a circle, the lava hounds and the balloons after the lava hounds on each individual defense. So I think this is with the new composition that I decided on, which actually includes some minions, and the minions they're just for cleanup. So here, as you can see, I'm trying to take out both air defenses again and the queen. So that's why I'm attacking from the line that I'm attacking from. So the wizards are there just to make sure that the heroes go in. I've got 2 wall breakers to breach the initial layer of walls. Actually, they get killed in this raid, so that doesn't matter. But I wanted the wall breakers to break it over there, so the heroes were more likely to get to the second air defense. The first air defense wasn't a problem, but eventually the golems did manage to take it out. So in this, actually, my jump spell placement there, I don't want the stuff to go into the middle. That's why it's not covering the middle compartment. I only want them to go to that air defense. If they went into the middle, if that covered the middle compartment, everything would just go straight into the middle now, instead of do what it did now, which is wander around. And eventually those golems are going to go and take out that air defense there, which is what they needed to take out, what I wanted them to take out for this raid to work. So that's another little thing on jump spell placement. Only place it where you want to go, not to all the compartments. Remember from the Pentalava Loonian, that lava hound went there, so it soaked up those air traps, and it did that very well. And actually, in my even further improved raid, I'm taking 3 lava hounds, so there are even less balloons. So it's even more important that you spread those lava hounds out so that they take up all the air traps. So as I said again, that's the circular deployment, the kind of as if the clock was counting down on this base. You deploy at the hand as the hand moves along. And you can see that means that the loons have bunched up less. They're in lots of different groups rather than in individual groups. And now the raid's over, all its defences are down, the minions clean up, and eventually that does finish up as a 3-star. So my last video, this is the last one I'm going to talk through. So I would only recommend this if your heroes are both level 10 or more, obviously. The composition is going to be base specific. If you have lower heroes, you can take more golem, which means that you can do more with your heroes. The queen is the main element here. She sits back and snipes the stuff, the defenses, the air defenses. But the king's very important too, actually. When the queen aggroes, it's almost always the king that goes sprinting for her, because he's always kind of in the fray. He's right in the middle of it all. So he goes sprinting for her, activate his ability, as here. So he goes straight for her, activate his ability, and he takes out the queen and the air defense there, actually. Although the queen would have taken it out. Oh, I think the queen actually ends up taking it out because he dies or something. And then circular deployment. One on each defense. It's not a spam attack, it's 1 loon per defense. So I sent in the second lava hound there because that lava hound was dying, and then I go around the base making sure those lava hounds are soaking up the air traps and soaking up the fire from the defensive buildings, because I've only got 12 balloons in this attack. So since there are 4 seeking air mines, that's a third of my balloons destroyed if I mess up. If the lava hounds don't soak up the balloons. So this ends up as a 3-star as well. But yeah, so that's the principle. The first, an initial party, you can actually have what you like, but I like using 2 golems. You could use some witches if your heroes weren't up to standard. You could put some witches in there, maybe a few more wizards. You don't have to take out 2 air defenses. You could just use 1 golem, take out 1 air defense and the queen. But you need to take out the queen, and you need to take out an air defense. And then it's again, it's up to your preference. If you like using 3 hounds with this, you should probably practice it before you use it. If you like using 3 hounds, use 3 hounds. If you like using less, use less. It's all like, the more balloons you have, the more defenses you can initially target, but the more hounds you have, the longer, the less balloons survive. So that's all kind of a learning process, seeing what you like to do. So the last one I'm going to show you is this one. Actually, it's a complete fail, and that's because there is a dragon in the clan castle, and it absolutely destroys the raid. And that's one thing that's really important. See, I accidentally released my queen's ability, and so I'll find the point where I did that. Yeah, around about here. I meant to hit the king ability, but I hit the queen one instead. Oh yeah, that lightning there, remember, for the clan castle. And that will have cost me the raid, because when this dragon came over, had I hit the ability right now, after the dragon hit it, ability, that would have destroyed that dragon. And if you watch this, look how much damage the dragon does. It kills every single one of those balloons on that side, comes over and kills the rest of them on this side. And with a raid with so few balloons, if the dragon ends up targeting the balloons, this was silly. I shouldn't have been greedy. I should have just gone for the extra percentage on the side for the win, but I didn't really. I was hoping to get the town hall as well, but I wouldn't have because of the expo. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the idea behind the attack. Initial raiding party, something to take out an air defense and a queen. Then deploy the lava hounds in a circle around the base, and your rage spells, sorry, I've forgotten to mention them completely. The jump spell goes where you need is to direct your troops and to help them get over the wall, obviously. And the rage spells, they almost invariably go directly on top of an air defense. That helps for a number of things. It helps to rage the lava pups, which will help to destroy the clan castle if they haven't all been killed by the lightning. And it also helps to rage the balloons just to get the job done a bit quicker, especially if I'm only using 12 balloons. And the 8 minions is just clean up and they're deployed after the raid in individual spots where there aren't any lava pups hanging around. So I hope that video was helpful, and I hope you can watch it soon.